Bible Basics for the End of the Age. Hey folks, welcome back to The Hidden Day. This is going to be a new series called Bible Basics for the End of the Age. Because while we do focus on prophecy and we're excited about Jesus' return, and we notice all the things that are going on in the world, you can't sling a dead cat without hitting some kind of prophecy thing out there, whether it's aliens or military invasions or them trying to manipulate us, the mark of the beast, yada, 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 yada. There's so many things, but we need to remember we are to occupy until he comes. So one of the key verses that he has for us, even in the end of the age, is don't be deceived. So that's what we're going to quickly talk about today. At the same time, I want to show you how I do a study with my Bible program so you can get a glimpse into how I actually search these things out and find them. So real quick, they're going to be quick shows, and it's just going to be touching on a topic. I know there's a million other things you can tie together with it. But when we attach them all to one topic at a time, then we can study this all in pieces. So the first thing I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go over to the Bible program. You can see it over here. And this is BibleSoft by PC Study Bible, and BibleSoft is a company. This is the One Touch. This is their big program. It literally has hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of references in there that are all intertwined with the search. But for now, I'm going to press this box up here, and I'm going to type in the word, which I have in there already, deceive. But then maybe you'll see it. I put in deceive and then an asterisk, because that will bring up anything after the deceive as well. So you could bring up deceived, deceiver, deceives plural, or someone who does, like a verb. Anyway, so it'll bring up anything with that after. Actually, you know what I should do? Is probably back it up a little bit. And to put an asterisk right after the V, this way it'll pull up deceiving as well. So I'm going to click go. I have it searching on the King James Version, and that's because if I do that, if we look over on the left side, you'll see it pulls up all the Strong's numbers along with it. So that's pretty cool. And one of the things I want to look at is Jesus was very emphatic about the end times, especially talking about the things that are coming. He says, don't be deceived. And he was emphatic about it. And there's a reason, because there's going to be a lot of deception going on. So I'm going to shoot down to the first part of it. And then it's Matthew 24:4. Let's click on that, and we'll see it comes up in here. It says, Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and deceive many. So I'm going to put that as the King James with the Strong's numbers, and we'll be able to look those up. So this deceive here is planeo. So what I do typically is I want to find out what the word really means in the original language, in this case Greek. So it says planeo, from plane, or plane in the Greek, feminine 4108, as abstractly, let me see. So to roam, to go astray, and then I'll look in other lexicons. One of my favorites is the Complete Word Study. So I'll click on the Complete Word Study down here. Let me slide these over a little bit. In the Complete Word, he said it's contracted plano future, from plane, a wandering, to cause to wander, to lead astray. In the passive, to wander or go astray. All right, so that's pretty interesting. So don't let anyone lead you astray. And that's more of what this verse means. In the Septuagint, it's up here as well. Genesis 37:14, Exodus 23:4. So this is a pretty powerful study. You can actually look up those verses if we want and go into deeper studies. But for this show, we're just going to talk about don't be deceived and being a Bible basic, really. So what I'm going to do here, I can actually click on that and then go to down here. Let me see. I'll go back to the Strongs. And I'll pull up planeo to cause Sodom. I could click that word here, click down here, and I can get actually a pronunciation as well. So here, watch this. All right, so we can hear it.
Planao.
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 All right, so that's pretty cool. So it's planao, cause to roam or lead astray. So that's the first thing I'll do. And then the next thing, I'll put it back to Matthew 24. I'll just look for the rest of them, that are down here, see if there's any others. Now we have Matthew, Mark. It's the same narrative. In here, he's talking to the disciples. And Matthew 24, they're asking, when's the end of the age? And when are you going to take over and restore the kingdom to Israel? So that's literally what they're asking. They have no idea of, what we call the church age or the age of grace. They don't know that's coming. They think Jesus is there to take over at that time. And he's like, no, back it up a little bit. Don't be deceived. There's going to be wars, rumors of wars. There's going to be this, famines. There's going to be all sorts of things. He lists a whole bunch of things and then says, don't let anyone deceive you. So it's going to be a time of great deception, okay? Even Satan comes as an angel of light to deceive, if possible, even the elect, right? So we see Matthew, Mark, and Luke all have the same narrative in there. So the story is reiterated 3 times, so it's pretty powerful. Then there's other places where it talks about Jesus being the deceiver, where he is not the deceiver, but other people are calling him that. And then people who are deceived. So you can see the little differences here. So let's go back up to the original one in Matthew. And it says, take heed that no man deceive you. So the next thing I like to do is I'll click on that verse and I'll come over here and I'll pull up the interlinear. And that has it in the original language too. And I know we just saw the original language, but if you'll see over here, here's the word, planao. But there's a parsing in it. So that's the root word of it, a planao. Here it's planese. Planese. I think that's planao again. Let's go back. Let me see, where was I with interlinear? How did I get over here? All right, well, let me just bring that back. Take heed that no one deceive you. Planao, planese, to deceive. But if, I know what I'll do, I'll pull that out of there. I'll pull this back. Close this so we can get back. There we go. All right, so not only do we see what the actual word is, not just the root word, we can see how it's written up here. And it has mislead, go astray, wander aimlessly. But we also have this, what's called parsing. And this is pretty incredible because in the Greek, there's a lot more tenses than we have in the English. So we see V3SAAS. And that means it's a Greek verb, Greek third person for the 3, singular, aorist, active, subjective. So what does all that mean? Because that's how detailed and precise the Greek is. So let's actually dig into that for a second. I'm going to bring them all up here. Third person, we all know what that is. Okay, it's not me. I'm first person. It's not you. That's second person. The third person is someone else, the other guy. So that's easy. Singular, that's easy. It's 1, not 2 or more. Aorist. All right, let's see what aorist means. The aorist tense is adapted from Fanning, verbal aspect. An aspectual meaning an external viewpoint. So aorist is now, we're looking from the outside at this whole thing, be not deceived. It's an external viewpoint. It's an external viewpoint concerning an occurrence as a whole, or in summary, including a beginning and end point, without reference to its internal makeup or progress, in contrast with an internal viewpoint of the present imperfect. Okay, so it's a temporal meaning of a past occurrence, an action or state. And non-indicative aorist is to derive time from time. So basically we're looking from the outside viewpoint in here, and it's interesting that they actually have a tense for that, to look at it. Hey, we'll just look at this from the outside. Don't be deceived. Whoa, okay, this is what's going to happen. An active, that should be pretty explanatory, but let's take a look. Simple active, normal use. Action is described by the verb. Subject exists in a state indicated by the verb. All right, so it's active. In other words, it's alive, it's happening. And subjunctive. So look at all these tenses in one word. Probable or eventual. An action state representative contingent, probable, eventual. So eventually these are going to happen. So there's a specific tense to just say, hey, this is eventually going to happen, probably. So that's different than, hey, it might happen. So if we say it in English, hey, don't cross between the lights, you might get hit. Or don't cross between the lights because you probably will get hit. So there's really, tightening up of the tenses. So that's interesting there. Go back to the Strongs over here. Let me close that. Let me just close that over here. So take heed that no man deceive you. And then we parse it right out there. So I started with, be not deceived, because it's a pretty simple one. So I can clearly show you how I'm going to get into other words so we can clearly define them as we move forward in Bible basics, because there's a lot of them that are not translated correctly or in the correct tenses when we look at them. So, but for now, be not deceived is very clear. There will be false Christs, false teachers, and all the like, especially as we get near the end. The reason for that is because Satan knows his time is short, and he's trying to trick everybody, to deceive everybody as much as he can, and it's going to ramp up, especially as we get close to the end of the age. And then next time we're going to talk about what that looks like. Well, what is really the deception? What is a heresy? What is causing division and all that stuff? So that'll be on the next show. But for this one, I bless your whole day, and Lord willing, we will see you on the next episode if we're still here. So you guys have a blessed day. Bye-bye. If you like this video and you'd like to see more of them, please subscribe and tell all your friends. Your support helps us reach the lost and teach the remnant. Check out the links below.